Welcome back to Dartmoor. We're actually walking to start this video, which is a minor miracle rather than just being in camp and starting. Although it's just kind of worked out like that. I just felt that this was kind of an appropriate place to do a walk, because for those that have been following me since my very first camp this way in March of 2012, this marks almost virtually, you know, give or take a month, 10 years of camping on Dartmoor, which is quite something when you think about it. And not only camping on here for 10 years, obviously there'll be plenty of people that have camped here for a lot more than 10 years. Probably some old dinosaurs out there, right? Yeah. Good job, most of my followers have got a good sense of humour. But this is effectively the walk that started it all those years ago. Like I said, there's so many YouTubers coming through now, people picking up their phones and GoPros and things like that and recording their adventures for the first time, which is really nice to see that people are getting out more and wanting to share. But some of us older duffers have been doing it. I actually remember seeing Tyrannosaurus Rex running around here, being coming here so long. Plus day walks, effectively from 2003. This year kind of is a bit of almost a bit of an anniversary year, really, because it's kind of like 19 years since I've been walking out here regularly, and like I say, 10 years since I've been camping out here. I've checked the forecast for today, and it's well, the next few days. Today is not too bad, a bit breezy, but not bad. Tomorrow just looks like wall-to-wall rain. I think the rain's coming in this evening about 7 or 8 o'clock. And then there's just non-stop rain, I think, then until tomorrow night. So not really planning on doing a huge amount. Hopefully meeting someone on Thursday here, and we'll hang around in the camp area. I think he's bringing his Hilleberg Sula, so that would be interesting. You can see I've got my Lite pack on, the massive pack. Jesus, this thing is big. That's the pack I'm talking about. All right, we'll get across these stones. Nearly there. One more. Managed that with dry feet. So I think we'll head up to Dartmoor. Kind of seems appropriate today to pass that way. Alright, I'll see you at the top. Okay, well, here we are at Widgery cross. Brattor on top of Dartmoor. It's not the highest point, but it's high enough that we've got quite a breeze happening. And the silly dog has found a massive stone that she wants to play with. Well, I'm not a religious person at all, but maybe while we're at a cross, just take a moment to pause and think about those that are no longer with us, past and more recent. This was certainly my first proper memory of Dartmoor here 19 years ago, up here. Just after getting engaged and just before getting married. And then of course, as I keep saying, and then cancer came along in 2010. Well, finished things off in 2010. Anyway, we're still going, and we'll be doing this. Oh, my walking poles, and we'll be doing this for as long as I'm breathing. As long as I'm breathing and walking, we'll be filming something or other, somewhere or other. And of course, as always, I guess, you know, a very big thank you. Lassie, this way. You know, a very, very big thank you to everyone who's been, you know, with me, following me, watching me for the last 10 odd years since we've been messing around, playing around, and just generally having fun, because that's really what this channel has always been about, is, you know, just not taking anything seriously, hopefully giving everybody a good laugh now and again. Hopefully we educate occasionally. I'd like to think there's a tiny bit of education occasionally. I think you do learn bits from me now and again. Mainly we leave all that stuff to the other experts out there who have since come along and having their fun, having their day on YouTube. But this is obviously, that's the back of Widgery Cross, Brattor behind us, just there. You can't see it behind this pack. And we've got, I shall have to get back out this way again actually this year when they're not firing, because it has been quite a long time since I've actually walked this area, because there's certainly a lot here. But you've got Dartmoor just over there. I can't remember the names exactly, it's been a while, but I think Chattor is hiding behind there. I think that's Sharptor, and I think that's Haretor. And if I'm correct, then my memory can't be so bad. I can't be quite senile yet. Heading there, I think. Straight away is found the nearest water hole to go straight into. And of course there's only one slight downside with where we're going to be pitching. It's right next to a stream. Oh god, straight in that one as well. It's like she's got to try each one. It's like she's tried that one up there, now she's got to try this one and see what it's like. And probably in a few months' time, you probably better walk right through there and it'd be like bone dry. Anyway, we're heading generally to the corner of this stream that kind of like runs around here. Hopefully find somewhere to pitch down there. And we are lucky with the weather, because my original plan was yesterday to get down here, but of course yesterday was Valentine's Day, so I thought I'd better stay home. I thought more appropriate to have Valentine's Day with the wife than out here with Lassie. Would have been fun with Lassie too. We've got to where we're going to pitch. The time, oh, it's turn. I don't worry about that. So I've checked the forecast, and the forecast is for the and the forecast is for strong winds from the southwest. Well, that's the southwest through there. So I'm thinking of pitching this way. I was actually thinking of putting the door there, but that's kind of the back in a way. So if I do, then I might pitch this way. I might try pitching it the other way and see how it goes. I think it might be worth trying pitching it the wrong way round and give it a crack. If you're enjoying my video so far, please consider liking, subscribing to all, and of course feel free to drop a comment below. As my videos are usually quite long, I will do a separate pitching video. It's just gone 6 and it's obviously, you know, dark outside now. We've set up inside. Well, I'm sitting down inside, but that's about as far as we've got. What I've done so far is I've done the mesh section up there, and that's all. And then I've rolled up the you know, like the waterproof, breathable rain barrier part. I've put Lass's bed down here, so there's still all of that space over there completely unused, and I might even put Lass's bed right at the back over there if I find that I want this space here, or I might put the pack once I've finished with it back there, so the Lassie has this space here. I kind of see there's so much space in this vestibule, it's ridiculous. I deliberately wanted to pitch this to the wind because I have heard that the back there can come down on your sleeping bag when the tail is pitched to the wind, which is what you would normally do. So really it's kind of a bit of a trial just to see how well it will cope with that, you know, pitched to a strong wind, which we're likely to get over the next few days. The only problem is the door is now facing exactly into the wind. So if it's raining and I want to get in and out, then rain will come straight in the door. I guess the consolation is, if it's raining that much and I'm in a tent, then you kind of have to do the door up anyway in most tents. Not every tent, but most tents that I've experienced, if it's raining, then you've got to do the door up, which is why in many ways I like my tarps and things like that, because you can quite often, well, either they don't have a door or you're sort of sleeping at the back if you pitch it, back to the wind, and then as long as it's not howling a gale, you can leave the door open, to a degree. But basically, I think what we're going to do is, I've got a couple of foam mats that I've put on the ground. I know some people, they line the whole floor with foam mats and that type of thing, and that's probably quite a good thing to do, but I tend not to bother for the simple reason it's just extra stuff that you have to carry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unpack the pack and sort of set camp up here with you. Okay, so I think the first thing I'm going to do is take my boots off. I know in days gone by I used to wear trail shoes and things like that and get my feet wet. That of course is still a very, very good option, especially when you're walking a lot and you don't necessarily want or need your boots. I've got Lass's food here. What I tend to do with Lass's food, I know it might sound a bit heathen, and I suppose most of you are probably thinking, well, it's Tony, so that's not really a surprise he's doing that. But I tend to just chuck it on the floor, because if I put it in the bowl, then she simply just muzzles it all over the place. I think I really am just as well off just tipping it on the ground there. That's a good portion of food there, Lassie. That'll keep you that'll keep you going. Because if I put it in the bowl, which I've done many a time, she just tips the bowl up and then does this funny muzzling business. So in the very, very top, G-Shock GWG 2000, I've got some cheese, Mora knife, waterproof trousers. I've got my iPhone, Apple Watch charger, and some food. Corned beef and slices of cheese. Right, let's have a look and see what we've got in the pack. So we have a couple of GoPro attachment things for different video positions. And then the next thing in the pack is my power pack, and that's got all the power, all the charging cables, every single thing in it that I'm likely to need. And then in this pack here, I've got my wind shirt and a fleece, because it is winter and you need to have plenty of warm clothing. And this pack here, I have my Lite, which I think I might set up in a minute, spare batteries in there, and if the weather's very, very poor and I want to listen to a film or watch a film, then I can wear headphones when it's too noisy. Oh, I've got my my G-Shock Rubik's Cube. What a bizarre! Who brings two G-Shocks with them camping? In there is basically first aid kit, repair kit, you know, and just emergency supplies if needed. Next, we have a bag of food. There's enough food there for hopefully 3 days. We have my airbed. Just need to inflate that. My trusty nighttime bag, so everything that is critical for night use is in that bag. Sleeping bag, nightwear, just everything that I need for nighttime. Gloves.
In the winter, always bring at least 1 or 2 spare pairs of gloves with you, plus at least 1 spare hat.
New pillow. Oh look, I brought the paperwork with me. That was silly. That's a bit of weight I could have saved. So we'll see how long this pillow lasts for. Cuban ground sheet, although it's very old now, so that one actually does leak now. That's my insulated jacket and 2 more bottles of fuel. There's enough fuel there for, and that's it, that's everything. And then in the front section here, at my another hat. I knew it wasn't going to rain, that's why I didn't bother. More food, so soups, porridge, pasta is in there, and then of course my cooking pot, and then rubbish. And then in this side is just a map and compass. I'll just take that out so it's safe. It's my glasses case. This is why I like a big shelter. That's why I'm not really a big fan of one-man tents, because they're so small and pokey. They're just not that much, you know, they're just not that easy to live in, you know, especially in the winter when you've got a lot. I'm going to put this foam mat here down on Lass's bed, so if she wants to use it, she can. And then I'm going to put some air into the air bed, because I am starting to, unfortunately, there's a little bit of a slope this way, which is a little bit, ow, ooh, my hips are not as agile as they were. The funny thing with this shelter, you're kind of like living in this section here. This is the bit that you can sit up in, and you've got, you know, a lot of room for sitting up in here. Then you've got, you know, an absolutely massive vestibule space over there, which I have to say is absolutely immense. You almost could actually manage not to have the GT section of this, but then you wouldn't have this head space here. You'd basically then just go straight down to the front, and I think it would make quite a difference to how much, a big difference to how much actual space, you know, that you have in here. You know, I think for the want of the extra weight of material for this section here, it's kind of worth having. Okay, let's get this airbed blown up, because like I said, it is starting to cool off now, and I do think that I need to, I have to say, attaching this to this is not, I used to very, very successfully puff air into these things for many a year, but then I saw this pump advertised and I was kind of like sort of thinking, well, it probably is better not to be blowing water vapor that's in your breath into your airbed. So I kind of thought, okay, I'll get the pump, but I don't think it's, you know, completely necessary. I think that by the time any mildew formed from your breath inside here, the bag probably would have perished anyway. And even if you did get damp in there, I can't really see that it would cause that much, you know, of a problem. I've got it and I thought, well, I'll try it. As I say, the only real downside to the Nammatj 3 GT is, you know, the back of it tapers down very, very steeply. And then of course your mat is very, very close to this material. And of course, if you have you know, a sleeping bag down there, which you will, then of course it can get pushed onto that. And that's the reason why it was suggested that I pitch the other end into the wind, so there's less chance of this pushing down on your sleeping bag. So like I said, we've got a few days here, so we'll kind of see how it all goes really. What I tend to do once I've got myself settled down is to angle the bed, because it's just me anyway, I tend to sort of angle the bed slightly like that, so that there's a bit more foot space. Or of course you can just try and get your head, you know, if you have your head near the top here, which is your other probably good option, then of course you've got more foot space and more room for your feet, you know, down there. Okay, once you've got air in your airbed, then you can start getting things out from your dry bag. So I've got my plus 4 degrees PhD down sleeping bag, so we'll let that puff up there just in case I needed them, and I probably don't. I put my down booties back in again this time. I didn't bring them last time and I didn't need them. Gloves, always good to have, you know, extra gloves. Nighttime clothes, effectively nighttime clothes. Nighttime socks. So basically I've got a complete change in this bag, so that if I was wet when I got to camp, I have lightweight everything. And I could wear it by day in an absolute emergency, but it's not day clothing. It's basically leggings, lightweight socks, lightweight leggings, long sleeve merino, and then I've also got in here down leggings, which again I really probably won't need, beanie hat, which I probably will need, and a buff, and my sleeping bag liner, which I may or I may not need. So I do tend to bring, you know, and that's it. I do tend to bring a little bit more in the winter, because, you know, it's better to have a little bit too much than, you know, a little bit too not enough. All right, so basically what I'm going to do now is fix this up, get the angle and the position right in here, get undressed, put my nighttime clothes on, and get into the sleeping bag so I can, you know, start to warm up a little bit.